UFC 254 tournament is finally over. Khabib Nurmagomedov proved himself worthy once again, after facing one of the toughest fighters of his league, Justin Gaethje. Americans seemed like a real menace to Dagestani warrior. But what went wrong? Let's find out together. This is MMA time. And we're gonna break down Khabib Gaethje fight. First things first, we're gonna start with their game plans and training differences. Khabib eludes strict planning. He likes to experiment and improvise, while Justin Gaethje and his coach Whitman, on the contrary, develop strategy on every fight and stick with it. Let's take a closer look. Gaethje's game plan. Khabib's plan had a lot of room for maneuver and solving problems as they go. Justin had more detailed and thoughtful strategy, but it doesn't mean it was any good. Whitman and Gaethje developed solution to every action of his opponent. For example, Dagestani fighter is all about total pressure. Justin should have countered it by standing inside the center of the octagon. In case of losing his position, Gaethje should have dived back and controlled the distance with jabs or his hand in order to clinch Khabib and prevent takedown. When facing the threat of takedown or a sudden dash punch, he should have performed pivot to the right. Taming harsh attacks of Khabib aimed to push Justin out of center of the stage. Footwork mostly solid and unconventional. Sudden moves, dives and dodges. This was supposed to prevent takedowns from Eagle and force him into clinch. Next important Khabib's move is overhand. In our previous video, we talked about Khabib's overhand, which worked in his favor fighting McGregor. The solution was to counter Khabib with a left hook, moving behind his hand while striking. This is the safest way to evade this weapon. As for Nurmagomedov's hooks while moving forward, Justin should have used his left hook with the right overhand at the slightest sign of danger. While striking, he should have used dive with low kick and then jab in order to counter any attempts of takedown from Eagle. All of this isn't new for Gaethje. This arsenal was enough to destroy Ferguson, and Justin mastered these moves long ago. Khabib's game plan. Khabib really respected Gaethje's striking and takedown defense, so his game plan involved 2 stages and a lot of improv. Justin's footwork was enough for him to understand that hunting for one leg won't be useful, and going for both legs will certainly get him tired. This is obvious when looking at the end of round 1, when Khabib strikes with his jumping knee pushing opponent to the mesh, which is an extreme measure for him. To put it simply, his game plan mostly fit our predictions. First, a lot of light jabs. Second, jab, uppercut and takedown fakes. 3. Clinch, in order to push opponent back. 4. Single leg takedown. When facing opponent's footwork, Nurmagomedov decided to exhaust Justin. He followed a classic rule which says that pressing opponent is not enough. You have to make him work. Opponent must be moving chaotic, missing a lot. This is the way to make him tired. So Eagle's tools were more or less predictable to those who saw our previous video. Nurmagomedov followed Eddie Alvarez's game plan, throwing a lot of light jabs, forcing Justin to stay in defense. And when he was crossing the black line of the center, he started diving all around. This was exactly what Khabib needed to start using uppercuts, which became one more weapon in order to perform a takedown. At this moment, he is already used all his decoy for jab, uppercut and takedown, and every time Justin replied diving to the sides, it has become so predictable Khabib has had no problem catching him with his knee right into the face. This kind of intensive footwork exhausted Gaethje, so he took over genius Barboza footwork, moving only right all the time. It was supposed to be unpredictable dodge to the right, but he forgot it. Khabib capitalized on that and started using low kick, preventing Justin from going further left. It was about time for Nurmagomedov to use his final move. As we've said before, Khabib, as well as Alvarez, goes for clinch, but it's less about punches and more about scaring his rival to push him back. And when everything clicked, Justin started moving right all the time like crazy. Eagle realized he was in control and paid for it a couple of times when Gaethje threw his left hook, forcing Khabib to go defense, and then used right overhand through elbow. Justin stroked successfully sometimes, but ended up confused with weird Khabib's timing, as well as many fighters before him. Eventually, this dump move resulted in Khabib's double leg takedown and getting full mount, and then to armbar. The time was out and Justin was saved with the end of round, but Khabib's actual plan was more tricky. In round 2, Justin worked better, moving left more often in order to make moves to the right more unpredictable, and also jabbed when going left. However, Nurmagomedov noticed that Gaethje goes left after every low kick. He tried to catch him this one time, but got kicked himself. After that, he made precise takedown, capitalizing on Justin's move. It was a calculated decision. He performed top mount, took his hand and left his rival the only way to escape, which is to raise up and hold his hand in Khabib's guard. Nurmagomedov though waited for his guard to close the triangle choke, and this caused Justin to surrender. Verdict: this was a key fight for Khabib's career. Before, he looked a lot more awkward, but this time he had confidence and he knew what he was doing. He showed once again that he had no need for a detailed plan, and no matter what game plan his rival had, it didn't matter when Khabib had one goal: just to destroy his opponent. It was surprising to see him ending his career after this fight. Well, he's got nothing to prove in his league. He overcame most of top-tier lightweight fighters with confidence and power. We all wish him good luck in his life, but we still hope he'll be back in order to achieve score 30-0 against some legend like George St. Pierre. But as for lightweight league, Nurmagomedov has already proven his dominance and become the best fighter in history of his weight class. If you liked our video, click like button, smash subscribe and hit that notification bells.